Grant, I am much closer to having the ability to respond to questions in the Zoom chat through the recall bot. I I was doing a test yesterday with we had a Leap Mastery Day. I'm just gonna tell you a story. We'll pretend that nobody else is here for now, as they
Sure.
probably don't have questions. Um, so we were doing a Leap Mastery Day, and I had a chat bot in the room, and I was forwarding every message off to an N8N workflow
Mhm.
and trying to figure out if it was a question or not. And I got to a point where it was really accurate. Like it would miss one out of
Not
like
just not
no,
just looking for a
not
question
like
mark.
no, not like no. Well, and not only that, so something that I added this morning because I realized I was throwing in some objection style comments like, "Oh man, I'd really love to do this, but I just can't afford it right now." There's nothing about that that's a question.
Hmm.
But it is something that we'd want to address. So I added a new category of chat, which is essentially objection statements, not just questions.
Okay.
Um, so and how I'm doing it right now is I'm saying, okay, you're looking for messages that start with a desire of some sort and then have the word but in them, or
Love to
essentially
do this, but
have an
my wife
excuse.
would never let me.
Exactly. Basically, have a
Right.
desire and an excuse or reason for not doing it in the same chat message.
Hmm.
Uh, so interesting. It's interesting. I've been playing with that today.
Where are you?
Phoenix. There's
Good times.
dead plants around me.
Yeah.
This isn't real. I'm pretty sure it's not real. It
And plenty of heat.
feels like feels like not real.
Nice. Well, look, Jason's like, all right, boys, can we get on with this? I didn't come here to listen to you two talk.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the
Uh,
heck?
You two idiots.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Um, let me double check that people haven't put a whole bunch of questions in before. You have one. Okay, it's a question about Obi. So that's right. That was last week. That's all good. All right, Jason, go ahead.
Well, I'm just here to geek out on the new impending ClickFunnels Obvio integration.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine that something might be coming.
Yeah. Any other questions before we dig into that?
No,
Not from you. All right. So yeah, one of the reasons that we have a couple more people on today's call, perhaps than are normally, is we did talk about on our call yesterday, on our master day yesterday, about the new ClickFunnels integration. And I promised you guys that I'd show you how it works today. So let's do it. I'm going to tell you that as of right now, it's not officially public for you guys. So it's on our production system, but it's still hidden for now. There's one small bug with it, which we're working on resolving. And hopefully that'll be done, let's just say, by the end of the week. Um, so, yeah. All right. So here's let me show you what it's going to look like. So very similar to how, let's see if I can figure my stuff out. Hold on one second. I normally, I'm ready for stuff like this. Never ready for anything. Okay, so let me share my screen and let's go ahead and go to a test event that I created for this. So I'm calling it CF testing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to the services tab, which is where the ClickFunnels integration will show up along with all of the others. Now, for now, I'm just going to modify the URL. Just going to modify the URL and open up the ClickFunnels integration. You guys can technically do the same thing, but I will say to you, do so at your own risk. Because the reality is you can't actually unlink. I'm just realizing you can't actually unlink an event. So give me a second because I was playing with it earlier today, which is how we found one of the bugs. Let me just create a new event to test this with rather than what we just did. So give me a second, and Grant, if there are any other questions or things that you want to address while you wait for me to do this, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are there any other Obvio questions we can quickly discuss? Wow. Just thinking. Phyllis, take it away. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I unmuted you and you
Sorry,
muted yourself.
yes. Okay,
No,
that's very funny. Okay, so I didn't put my question in the questions portal for this because I forgot to do that. But I
all good.
did place it here in the chat and I
Okay.
just pushed it through and I just kind of stated that my event is the 15th through the 17th of August. I'm going to fly out the ceiling just messy and dressy and I need help to build my dashboard. That's right, messy and dressy, Blue.
I'm learning between yesterday and today, Phyllis, you're teaching me all sorts of
I
new,
got the vocabulary for you, okay?
yeah, all sorts of new words, and ways to put them together. Do you have a sales page done for your event yet?
No.
Okay.
Do I need
So,
one?
yeah. Well, how are you? Well, first off, let me ask a quick question. How are you planning on getting? I love like mess. Would you say messy and dressy?
Messy
Love
and
that.
dressy.
Jersey.
Love it. You need I mean, we definitely need a way for people to sign up. So how are you planning on doing that? Because that's not the dashboard. That's your sales page.
Right. I was just going to go down into my social media and just talk to maybe three or 400 people and say, hey, here, this is what I'm doing, and going from there.
And just inviting them one to one.
Absolutely.
And are you doing a free event or are you doing a paid event?
It's going to be paid
It's going to be
$67. Hmm.
so once they say yes, I want to buy, what's your plan? Are you just going to send them like a Stripe link or something like that? Or
I'm gonna put a link on the um, on all of the flyers that I'm going to put like throughout the social media. There's going to be a link that they can go and register there.
okay.
And it's
So
going to, it's,
so you are going to build a sales page of some sort.
yeah, there is going to be a sales page of some sort. But yesterday after ClickFunnels, I'm kind of in a conundrum of because I really want to shift over to ClickFunnels, and I have two sales. I have an opt-in and a thank you page and Kartra, but it took like years to build those two pages. It seemed like years, and I just it was just so seamless yesterday. So I really want to switch over to ClickFunnels. So is that something that I can do? Just not the
Um,
pages, just go and create it a lot more simpler. It's going to be messy and dressy.
yeah, I mean, I don't, is it something that is possible to do? I would say the short answer to that question is yes. Yeah, of course. And it also depends on how comfortable you are on, with like, listen, those of us who are really good with a platform, Ben yesterday made things look really easy in ClickFunnels. And
Okay.
if you were to watch me do the same thing that he did in ClickFunnels, you would think that it's not as easy because I'm not as comfortable in it. It's like when I show you guys how to do something in Obvio, and I'm like, yeah, you just go here and click this button and do this thing, and then click that thing, and then it happens. And I'm like, it's so easy. It's easy because we make it look easy because we use it every day. So I would just say that, just in fairness and in full transparency, given the fact that you're trying to do it messy and dressy, you want to keep it as simple as possible.
Okay, thank you. And Elizabeth did tell me to bring my logo and the title of my thing, and that you probably could knock it out in 10 minutes. She said even 10 minutes before my event, but I would be super stressed. But she said to show up here and we'd be able. Why are you sweating?
I'm not sweating.
Okay.
I
No,
mean,
she said that you could
if
knock
I
it
am
out.
sweating, it's because I'm in Phoenix. That would be
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah.
All right. No, she said, no, Blue can just knock it out in 10 minutes. So let's just bring your logo and just tell them the name of your thing and just hit it. So I just figured I'd get that out the way.
Well, that is awesome. All right. Let's come back to that. Let me show you
Okay.
guys the ClickFunnels integration first
Okay.
and then answer questions about that. And let me loop back
Okay.
to that question/request. So here we are back at my new ClickFunnels 2 testing event. So I'm going to go to attendees. As of right now, I don't have any. And you'd go to services, and generally speaking, you'd click on the ClickFunnels logo. And when you do, it will look something like this. Let's see if this works. Something like this. And it's going to ask you to authorize your ClickFunnels account. When you click on that, it's going to say allow Obvio to connect to your workspace, and you have to pick which one. In my case, I have two. But if you only have one, it'll be a little bit easier. So I'm going to pick Obvio because we have a whole bunch of sample data, and it's going to say, are you sure you want to authorize Obvio to get full access to your workspace? So you say, yes, I do authorize Obvio to have access to my workspace. And then once you do, you come back here and there's a few things that you have to set up. We work with the tagging mechanism inside of ClickFunnels. So you can add or you can define a tag inside of ClickFunnels that you're going to assign to all of your attendees. Now, you can create that tag in ClickFunnels by going to your workspace settings and scrolling down and going to tags and clicking on contact and actually adding the tag, right? So I can click on add and I can call it July 22nd. Actually, let me just call it update call attendee. I'm just going to make it, that's what I'm going to make my particular tag for this test, okay? So now I've created a tag that probably needs to get assigned to a bunch of attendees. Now, you're probably going to do this through a workflow of some sort. But in my case, I haven't done that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my customers, and I'm just going to pick like 5 people to apply this tag to, right? Let's just say that these 5 people are all my attendees. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to click tag, and I'm going to click add tags, and then I'm going to add the update call attendee tag. Now, this should be automated for you guys inside of your funnel. It's something that you should do essentially on purchase of your event ticket. It should be part of your ClickFunnels workflow to apply the tag once the purchase has been made. Now I've got those 5 tags or those 5 attendees tagged. I'm going to come back here into my Obvio account and I'm going to type in update. And when I type in update, it's going to do a search through all of the tags in my ClickFunnels workspace and show all of the tags that have the word update in them. So I'm going to click on the update call attendee tag because that's the one that I want. And then the next thing I've got is the login URL field. Now, custom or inside of ClickFunnels, this is called a custom attribute. So if I go back to my workspace settings and I go to, sorry, contact attribute. If I go to contact attributes, you'll see that I have one that I created earlier today called Obvio July 2023 Test 1. But I'm not going to use that. I want to do another one. Now, you can create the contact attribute here in ClickFunnels, or you can actually also do it directly in Obvio. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create New Field, and I'm going to call it July 2023 Obvio Login Test 2. Okay. You do not have to make it as long as I am. I'm just making them a little bit longer so that I'm 100% clear on what it is I'm working with. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create. And when I do, if I go back to ClickFunnels and I refresh this page, what you'll see, hopefully, on the contact attributes page is July 2023 Obvio login test number 2. So it creates the contact attribute or custom field for you inside of ClickFunnels. So all that without, I'm going back and forth between my Obvio account and my ClickFunnels account, just so you can see it, but you don't need to. Next up, we have some action tags, and this is very much the same if you've watched us do integrations with other services. When an attendee is created, we have the option to create a tag. That can be helpful in terms of automation. Like let's say as an example, you want to wait to ensure that the login URL field is in fact filled before you send out a confirmation email that has the login URL in it, right? So you could trigger a workflow inside of ClickFunnels based on the attendee created tag. Now, I am going to go ahead and create the tag here. I'm going to call it test2 created, and I'm going to click create. And then I'm also going to do my checked in tag here. I'm going to create checked in. I'm going to call it test2 checked in just so that they're consistent. And then I'm also going to apply a tag on the waiver signature. And I'm going to call it test2 waiver. So all I've done here so far is I've created 3 tags and a custom field. I'm going to go ahead and click save. And if I go back into my ClickFunnels account and go down to tags and my contact tags, you'll see that I have 3 new tags: test2 waiver, test2 checked in, and test2 created. And as of right now, nobody is assigned those particular tags. But I do have updated call attendee. I do have 5 attendees or 5 contacts that have that particular tag. Now, when you first set up your attendee tag or your attendee system, which at this point is actually done, from this point forward, anybody who gets the updated call attendee tag or your whatever you call your attendee tag will get automatically pushed over to Obvio. They'll get created as an attendee in your event, and then their login URL, their magic link, will get sent back to ClickFunnels, and they will get stored in the custom attribute or contact attribute that you have selected. But what about those initial 5 attendees? So once you set up your system, once you set up your integration, you want to go up to the top and click Import Attendees. And what that'll do is within the next few minutes, it will import everybody who has already purchased or registered for your event. Okay. So for those of you who have worked with Obvio and ClickFunnels in the past, you know that you've had to create a whole bunch of zaps to do the stuff that we just did, right? Zapier is no longer needed in any way, shape, or form to work with ClickFunnels, which is awesome. Now, I'm going to start by going back into my contacts, and I'm going to go back to my workspace, and I'm going to do a filter. And I got to remember how this works because I assume I can add a contact tag filter. Yep. And we're going to do the, which one is it? It's the test 2 one, right? What did I call it? July, Obvio. I really forget what I called the tag. What was my attendee tag? Does anybody remember?
I think it was July 2023, but I'm not sure.
I think it's
That's the one.
updated. I think it's updated call.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's the
off.
one.
Yeah.
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 All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply, and now it's going to show me just those attendees. Now, what I want to do is open up one of these attendees in ClickFunnels and show you a couple of things. First off, the attendee already has their login URL. So from Obvio, it has already made its way back into ClickFunnels. And if I click on tags, you'll actually see the test 2 created, right? So the connection between Obvio and ClickFunnels is already done, and the information has been brought in over here. Now, if I go back into Obvio and I go to attendees, you'll see that I have my 5 attendees right here. And if I open any one of them, here's the really cool thing about this integration, and actually all of our integrations, is that the attendee comes over with their first name, last name, and email address. If they have a phone number, the phone number comes over as well. And all of the tags that they have in ClickFunnels also come into Obvio. So if I look at Iden BB and take a look at the 5 tags that Iden currently has, the update call attendee tag, the test 2 created tag, and these other ones, if I go back into Obvio, it'll match. And if I were to add another tag to Iden inside of ClickFunnels, that tag will get imported into Obvio as well. If we change Iden's name in ClickFunnels, it'll get updated in Obvio as well. Something that won't happen, changes that you make in Obvio do not go back into ClickFunnels, okay? ClickFunnels is, I'll just call it your source of truth, and we don't ever want to make any changes unintentionally in ClickFunnels. There's a number of reasons for that. We do the same thing with our other integrations, not the least of which is, for those of you who have hosted events before, we've all had somebody who purchased a ticket with the name Jack and then was like, hey, my name's really Blue. Can you change my name in Zoom? And how you do that is you go into Obvio and you change their name in Obvio, which next time they go into Zoom, it'll change it to Blue. But you don't want your source of truth, which is ClickFunnels, which is your CRM, to actually be changed because ClickFunnels also tracks billing information. And Jack is what I purchase under. That's my real name, right? This is true-ish. So this is not actually true. Don't start calling me Jack, people. All right. So just know that changes you make in Obvio don't go backwards into ClickFunnels. It's only changes that you make in ClickFunnels get pushed into Obvio. So that's really it. And now if I were to go into ClickFunnels, okay, so if we were to go to another couple of contacts, let's say these ones, Lisa, Susan, and Mackenzie, and let's just say those. And I'm going to manually bulk action tag them, okay? So we're going to say add tags, update, call attendee. Oh, Jesus, come on, learn how to click. There we go. And now I'm going to click perform tag action. And that's these guys right here. So let's go into Susan Schmidt. And you'll notice they do not have the the update call, like the correct login URL yet. But over the course of the next 1 to 2 minutes, approximately, sometimes less, it'll show up inside of ClickFunnels, as will the fact that their attendee has been created. So the created tag will show up here as well. And there's nothing else that you have to do outside of apply the tag in your ClickFunnels workflow so that when somebody buys something, this happens. Now, incidentally, you can do the same thing when somebody opts in, right? So if you're like, nobody's buying anything to my free event, no problem. They are taking an action. If you're using ClickFunnels, they're taking an action. They are opting in on a specific page. And on opt-in, you can add the same item to your workflow. You can apply a tag on opt-in. And when they register, when that happens, they will automatically get brought over to your event. And all of those things will happen. So while we're waiting for things to catch up a little, does anybody have any questions? Sal, go ahead.
Hey, Blue, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Still working out?
Pardon me?
Are you still working out?
You know what? I'm working out a little less than I'd like to be. I'm still getting exercise. Oddly enough, I have a really bad shoulder right now.
Bummer.
So yeah,
wrong with it, man?
that it's funny how critical the shoulder is to the rest of your body. But it's
worse by movement, better by movement.
It's a long story.
Well, I was just going to say there's two medicines. Russ Talks is better by movement. Bryonia is worse by movement. What I wanted to ask you is this integration the same with Mastermind? You know, Tony and Dean's Mastermind, or what?
Yeah, so Tony and Dean's Master MBS already has an integration with Obvio. That integration is covered by the high level integration, the Go High Level integration. Because MBS is essentially a version of Go High Level.
I see. So it has to be Go High Level to be able to integrate with Obvio.
Well, no, it has to. MBS is Obvio or is High Level. They're the same thing. Well,
okay. All right.
They're not exactly the same thing, but they are.
I don't know, but so it is integrated.
It is, yeah. So when you go into Obvio, when you go to your event, if you click on High Level, and you log in with your MBS login information,
right,
you'll be able to connect Obvio and MBS.
Yeah, okay. I'm telling you, dude, you should check out them two medicines that fix you up.
Throw them in the chat for me. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Any other questions about this in particular?
Have you got developer shoulder there, Blue? Is that's what's happened?
You know, it's a long story. I have to be honest with you. I don't know. I know when it started to hurt, but I don't know why. Because I didn't really do anything specific, which is a little bit concerning. And it's been about 6 months or so. So, yeah, good times.
It's not ideal.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions while we are hanging out?
Wow, could be a short day. No questions.
Yeah. All right. So Phyllis, let's go back to you, given the fact that there's no questions. Can you share your event logo, your event name, and your website, I guess. Like because I assume I need some brand inspiration to figure out what it is how we want it to look, essentially.
So maybe, I'm sorry. So maybe this isn't the session. Maybe next week I can have most of that for you. But I do
Sure.
have my logo and I can have some sort of brand inspiration for you to see. I mean, I can share it. Did you want me to just share you a link to my site? Is that what you want?
Yeah, that would be fine. I mean, if just to get a sense, because we can kind of play around with something from there, and you can always make changes once you get it.
Okay, great. Do I have to log into my Avio for us to do this, or I don't? Thank
No,
you. Great. Okay, so now you need my logo. Let me just go get it right. But where can I play? How do you want me to send it to you?
just drop it in the chat.
The logo?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. So, can somebody else talk while I'm doing this?
Yeah, Kat, what's your question?
I basically want the same thing. I'm not finished with my sales page, but if you're going for it, that's why I'm here. That's what I came last week too. So I just keep on not finishing. It's never good enough.
So yeah, I'll do one of these today, and then Kat, when's your event?
It's supposed to be, well, my summit is my little freebie thing that if I don't get the dashboard, I'll just do job form, whatever it is. But August 5th, 6th, 7th is my freebie thing. But my event is August 28th, 29th, 30th.
Okay, so we got plenty of time for your event. And you probably want us to build the dashboard because we do for you
Yeah.
guys in the Leap, we do one dashboard. So you probably want us to build the dashboard for your event. And yeah, so just get the sales page doesn't have to be final. It just if you get it close, that's good enough. Okay, like because that's probably good enough. And in the meantime, Kat, do me a favor, send that information to Elizabeth so that I can
Already
possibly
have. That's how I knew to get as far as I am. She's aware. She was waiting for my sales copy.
got it. So when you have the sales page, not the sales copy, the sales page, the link to the page, fire that over to her so that we can take a look at it offline. All right, Phyllis, have you found the logo? There it is.
Very basic.
Yep.
And I sent you a copy to my link to my site, but it's gonna change, but that's the site.
Okay.
Mm.
So let's do this way. Um, Give me one sec.
It's an arena where people come in and fight
Yeah, no, I
to
got it.
win.
I got it. I'm
But
just
it's a
trying.
mindset fight, though.
Well, that's cool.
Hmm.
All right. So here's what I would do with your site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going to your organization.
Oh,
So
good. Okay.
Um, I assume you have like Phyllis Taylor. Do you have a preference as to which of these two I use, Phyllis Taylor Coaching Network or Phyllis Taylor's organization?
You can just choose one. It's not much there. The one on the right, on the right, on the right, on the right. Okay.
Okay.
I don't
So
think it's anything there. Great. Oh, wow. Collaboration was, we can erase that, but anyway. Thank you.
Gladly, you're welcome. Actually, I don't know if this
Or
will
we can
work.
save it. It's a Cape save.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know if it'll work with my, because I think I have to be the owner to do that. So I
Oh
can't actually
God.
delete that easily. So what I'm gonna do, what's your event called?
I put it in the chat. It's called the $1 Million Mind. Discover the hidden fortune in your expertise.
Cool.
Hmm.
Okay, and remind me where you live?
I'm in the East Coast,
Great. And your event is taking place, you said what days?
August 15th, 16th, 17th.
Okay, so I'm gonna set your event up to start a couple days before that and
Okay.
and and end a couple days after that. Your attendees don't actually see this information. It's just what gives you access to Zoom.
Okay.
Um, and I want to be able to make sure that you have access to Zoom for a couple extra days.
Do you
Um,
need the time?
no, it doesn't matter.
Okay, great.
Because this is only visible to you.
Okay.
The number of attendees is also only visible to you, so I'm not going to worry
Okay.
too much about that.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and create the event, and I'm going to pick because we're just doing this. What you call it? I'm just going to call it quick and dirty.
Okay,
I'm
that's good. Like dressy messy. Hmm.
dressy and messy. Yeah. I'm going to pick the cards template because I think it matches the this style of your existing website fairly well.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and click select on that. And I'm going to start without any content because for me, that's a little bit easier. Um,
Okay.
when you guys start with a template, you may want to start with demo data so that or sample data. So when you start with your website, it actually looks like our demo website. So at least you have something to work with. But for
Hmm.
me, I prefer to start from scratch.
Okay.
So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to go and I'm going to insert the 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 background of um, the boxing ring that you have on your website as the background for your dashboard. Okay.
Okay. All right. Great. Wow.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the header of your, where's that? Here we go. I'm going to change the header and I'm going to upload your logo there.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, actually, you know what? Let me change that a little bit and do a couple of other minor things. So we're going to start by just making this a little bit more narrow. And because of the fact that your logo is a JPEG, which basically means it is not transparent,
Okay.
I'm gonna make, there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes it a little bit harder to work with. I'm gonna make the header of your dashboard black so it matches the header or the background color of your logo.
Okay. Thank you. Because
So
I was concerned about that. Hmm.
yeah, so far this is what we've got. We've got TPTA up at the top. Um, you could edit the welcome message and say welcome to the $1 Million Mind event, something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And then we're going to change this to be white text um, instead of black so that it's visible and
Okay.
click save. So this is where we are so far.
Hmm.
A couple of other things I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm going to take the icon color of the menu and I'm actually going to turn it black because I don't think you're going to have a ton of stuff on your dashboard, just given the fact that we're doing it dressy and messy.
Hmm.
And with that being the case, it's easier just to hide the menu because there's nothing in it. So
Okay. Great.
yeah,
Hmm.
rather than have people, click on something and be like, what's this? There's nothing in this menu. It's just an easier experience to not have that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a button for you to get you onto the main stage. And I'm going to use the same red that you have inside of on your website, which is this red right there. And I'm going to go and I'm going to click new button. And I'm going to add an icon and I'm going to say enter the main event. And I'm going to click join area and click save for now. That's not the right color yet, but I'm going to go to Zoom areas really quickly and create a main event Zoom area so that we can point the button to the right place. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to go into our background colors, change the background color to red so it matches the same look and feel as your website buttons up here.
Okay.
And let's go back here. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually edit the main navigation, edit the width a little bit, make it a little less, reduce my button height a little bit to kind of get you a little bit closer to where you are and increase my border radius a tiny bit. So there we go. So this is a little bit more like the style of buttons that you have on your dashboard up here. So we're getting there. And the other thing I need to remember to do is point this button to the main event site. Okay, so we've got the main parts of the dashboard, honestly, at this point, kind of done. You know, we do probably want to think about what we want to put as like maybe a welcome note, or if you want any elements that you're like any downloads that you're going to give your attendees.
Yes, I am. I'm going to give them a playbook.
Okay, got it. So what we'll do, I'm going to click edit sidebar and what I want to do is I want to make it red. I'm just not sure if it's going to look good.
Can you make it? Can you keep it like grayscale, like my logo, or the red is easier for you to do it, or this can be changed later?
I mean, I can make it grayscale. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is that a lot easier than trying to match that red?
No, the red is, I already have the red color, so that it doesn't really matter. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Okay.
So I'm gonna change this to be not have a border, and then we're gonna add an item, and we're gonna go resources, and I'm gonna edit the text and say event downloads. And then I'm going to go ahead and click save. And I'm going to add a resource and I'm going to make it I'm just going to make this one a link for now and you can come in and down the road.
That's fine. Okay.
So I'm going to make it a link to your primary website. Again, you can.
But I can change that to where I want it to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Download the workbook. And
I'm sorry. It's called a playbook. Thank you.
Yep.
That's funny, right, Grant? I'm a little over the top not to have my sales page. It's gangsta.
No, I like it. And I liked the little bit of sass as you said it there as well. That was good.
I know I'm wearing blue out. I mean, I'm happy he's here, but
You're not
those are my instructions.
Okay. I'm in a good place.
I love all the metaphors you've got. You've got fighting in the arena, and you got playing, not working, but playing,
and I
fighting.
Talk about gangsters,
playing and fighting, no working.
That's right.
Like it. A little agenda would be good too. Like I always like, as a minimum, to have a button to get into the event and the
Okay.
agenda
To
that
look at the
helps to
agenda.
tell
Okay.
when it
Now, what if I
when
want to
or
offer
just when it's
a
going to
couple of
start.
PDFs, some exercises? What if I wanted to? Would that be just under one button or under like two different buttons? Like there's a couple of things that they
So
are going to need to do.
what you would do if you want to give them a couple extra resources to download is you just come in
Hmm.
here, click add
Excellent.
resource,
Okay.
click here to or drag the file right here. You don't even have to put it online like somewhere else. You can literally just host it in Obvio, change the
Hmm.
text and assign an icon to it and click save.
Okay.
And a few
Okay.
minutes later, it'll become available in the downloads area on the
Okay.
left
That's
side.
easy. Okay. Great.
Totally. Um, okay, so the other thing I was doing is I was just applying some style to the actual login page of the dashboard, which I'm going to do here. And I am actually going to add a little bit of color
Okay.
because I've got it. If
What
you want to change
whatever
that,
bring it that energy. Hmm.
yeah, and if you want to change it down the road, you are
Okay.
more than welcome to. I won't be offended.
Okay.
Um, and there we go. And then I'm going to make this that and change that to be like that. There's no border. Great. All right, and then I'm going to go into your password, make sure that's disabled, make sure the
Hmm.
waiver is disabled, make sure pretty much everything is as easy as possible. And I'm going to
Okay.
come in and I'm going to allow email only login. So now when somebody goes to the login page, if they do, they can just type in their email address and click login and they'll get in without any problems.
Okay. So
Um,
that first time here language is not important, right?
I mean, you're probably going to send them an email. You can modify that, right? First time here, did you forget your password? You could say, log in using the email address you registered for the event with,
Okay. Okay.
right? And have it be like that.
Okay. Great.
Say, welcome to the event, main event, and then you're good to go.
Okay. So you got a tab there somewhere on that page. I can't see behind this white thing. You got a tab for the for the agenda and for the Zoom room when I go out to talk to them about their money.
Yeah, so how big is your event likely to be,
How
Phyllis?
many people?
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to shoot for about 150. I'll probably have five. No, I'll probably have maybe about 15 or 30 people. I mean, I have a pretty decent audience, and a lot of people are excited about showing up.
Cool.
So I don't know. We haven't started selling tickets yet, but it's going to start in the next couple of days.
What I would probably do if I was you, just to keep my life easy first time around, is I
Okay.
would answer questions about the offer on the main stage. I wouldn't
Really?
go, oh yeah, 100%. Let's not complicate your life or theirs first time around. Okay? Keep your life
Okay.
nice and simple.
Okay.
And this actually reminds me of something that platform speakers used to do in person. They
Hmm.
probably still do it from time to time. I just haven't seen it in a while because I haven't been to many live events in a while
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
in-person events in a while. But essentially, you know, platform speakers would hop on stage, they would talk for 60 minutes, and then they would give an invitation to buy something, whatever that thing
Hmm.
is, right? And
Hmm.
then they'd say, if you have any questions, go to the back, come to the back of the room and I'll answer them. And then they
Hmm.
would go to the back of the room and they'd leave their mic on purpose.
To embarrass people?
No, not at all. To answer questions, but as they were answering questions, they were overcoming the objections of people who weren't even there asking questions,
Oh,
right?
okay. But what about those people that might want to pay me $18,000, but they need to break it up in payments? They may not want to talk about that on the main stage. That's
you know,
right, 18.
somebody like that, that would probably be, you can put them into a breakout room and have that conversation.
Oh, okay. So that's what that is, a breakout room. Okay.
Yeah, just straight in Zoom. Yeah, again, just
Okay, I got it. Keep it
yeah,
simple.
I want you to keep your life as easy as possible.
So Mina's going to be working behind the scenes for me. She's going to be my whatever that person is, doing my music and all of that stuff, and doing my slides and all of those things. I'm just going to be the personality to just go through my through line and nail it and get ready for my big thing in October.
Love it. Yeah.
This is the messy dressy, but October is going to be the ball gown.
Well, and then the
That's
nice
right, Barbara, the ball gown.
the nice thing about that. So here's the thing. I'm going to do one other thing for now, Phyllis, on your site. So I mean that's
Okay.
essentially your dashboard, right? I mean
Yes.
there really isn't much else. Like you may want to put an about me on this page, on the speakers page, but I would probably just keep your life as simple as possible
Thank you.
for this first event. And I do want you to put a welcome message, right?
Okay, I can do that.
The event. Welcome message goes here.
Okay.
And oftentimes what I'll do is I will, I'll use the welcome message that we have for, actually, you know what, there's one other thing that you guys wanted Grant had the idea of having
An agenda, right?
yeah. So we're going to do that on the sidebar right here.
But
Click.
you all were very, very strategic and not necessarily talking about the agenda or the time or the way things would roll out. You recall that in
I,
TVE?
I recall that clearly. Yes. So your event is August 14, 15, 16. Is that what you said?
15, 16, 17. So day one is mindset.
Okay. And you start at
11
11.
is 11 to 4.
Okay. 11 a.m.
Hmm.
And then August 15th. Then we're going
Hmm.
4 p.m. Day one. This is all
Hmm.
I would put, right? Day
So
one.
you wouldn't put mindset, you would
Nope.
just,
Uh,
okay,
nope. Not at
okay.
all.
What
Day.
about day two or just day two, the same thing?
No, I would do the same thing. So is day two the same time? Are you also doing 11 to 4?
Yes, 11 to 4, momentum, and day three is mastery.
Cool. And yeah, we don't talk about that stuff.
Okay, up here. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
And honestly, because I don't want somebody to be like, you know what, I want mastery, but I'm not really sure I want mindset. Like that's just not,
Okay, thank you. Okay, right.
let them, let's not make them make, let's not let them make the decisions that they shouldn't
Okay.
be anyway.
Okay, great.
Three, and then day three is
On the
also
17th, 11 to 4. Hmm.
nice. Okay. 4 p.m. Go. All right. So there is your agenda. So now we've
Okay,
got
great.
downloads at the top, agenda right below it. Your welcome message will go here when you're done with it. But
Hmm.
what I oftentimes will do when you have like what I do for folks, oftentimes when we build a dashboard like I just did for you, is um, I'll take the welcome note that we have for TVE,
Hmm.
and I will feed it into ChatGPT, and I'll give ChatGPT your event sales page,
Okay.
and I'll say modify my welcome message to have the same tone and voice as the copy on your sales page.
Okay.
And I just let ChatGPT do the work for me because I want it to be there, but I don't like I'm not a writer from that perspective.
Okay.
And then modify any details, and you're good to go. So you could very easily go to ChatGPT and say, you know, can you write for me a brief welcome message for my virtual event? Here are some of the things that I'd like to include in that, and just copy paste it, and you're good to go.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you. Yay.
All
10
right.
minutes. That was pretty good, Blue. Thank you.
This is what I was talking about earlier today where some of us make our platforms look relatively easy, and that same thing may have taken you 4 hours to accomplish. But I've been using it for 4 years, so like every day.
Well, thank you. That was quite gangster of you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Not really sure I appreciate that there was an R at the end of that. I feel like that's a little less gangster. Just saying, because
It was an A. It was an A. It was gangsta.
I heard an R. I feel like I felt like that was like a gangster diminished, more like gangster.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
very
No,
gangster.
no, totally not a gangster. You totally are not a gangster. Okay, that's corny, but a gangsta is what's happening. Okay, let me just say why I have the lexicon that I have because a few years ago I stopped critically thinking, so I just like talk the way I talk. I don't do a whole lot of extra innuendos and trying to figure stuff out. I just like let it roll. So it might be
I
anything at this
love
point.
I love the language that you have, Phyllis. There's no you and it requires no explanation for the record. All right, Grant.
All right. All right. What else have we got, people? Any other questions? Anything you're playing around with? Bit of inspiration from that demo of building Phyllis's dashboard. Barbara, I totally get what you're saying about you get all inspired, you see all these things happening, and then and then everyone hangs up, and then you're like, now what? And it is a little bit like a blank canvas, right? Like it's I want to paint something, but how do I start? But I think when you do get something started, that's one of the advantages of this is you can always undo it, you can change it, you're not really going to break anything. And so it's just forcing yourself over that first, like it's just taking the leap, right? Like it's taking that initial jump. But do you have a specific question as well?
I do actually. So, but yeah, you're right about the other. And I also think part of my problem is understanding how all of the tech integrates with one another. And I let that overwhelm me. And so then I try to figure that out when in reality, I probably don't even need to figure that out. I just need to make the shit and then have someone else put them where they're supposed to go, or whatever it means. Because I have funnels built, I have workflows built, all this stuff. But my specific question is about, and I hope this is okay to talk about because I'm part of MBS and I'm struggling with MBS still, and I've had it for a year, and I use it pretty frequently nowadays, and it still feels it's not intuitive to me. And so what I was seeing yesterday felt really intuitive, but I also know that the person doing it that's his job. So I don't know. I don't want to just abandon Mastermind because I'm making a new website. It's going to be super simplistic. I'm not worried about that. I don't have any courses in there because I made all my courses outside of MBS, so I can upload those from anywhere. I can connect those, I should say, from anywhere. I do have some funnels made with the workflows and whatnot. And like my time with MBS is about to end. It ends in August. This using their system. And that's why I'm in this point of, well, I really don't have that much in there. Do I want to switch to ClickFunnels? And then, the message I got yesterday was if I'm in MBS, it's fine. You don't have to switch. However,
I'll be a little more blunt than I was yesterday because Ben was on the call. If you're already in MBS, don't switch, right? Because we all make our own platforms look easy and seamless. I guarantee you, if I grabbed one of the MBS team members here, because that's where I'm actually at, right? I'm in the mastermind. I'm in the mastermind.com building right now.
Okay.
They're far away. They can't hear me. Don't worry about them. But if I were to ask one of them to come over and say, hey, show me these things, when they do it, it's going to look just as seamless and easy as it looked when Ben did it in ClickFunnels yesterday, or when I did what I just did for Phyllis, right? It's just because we know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
And it's actually nothing other than that. Like and it just takes time to know exactly where to go. And I'll be honest with you, there are moments in our own platform when somebody asks me something and I'm like, I know I can do that, but I just forget where it is. And that's when it's not seamless, where when you forget where to go. That's when it's clunky, when you forget where to go. Like doing the thing inside of MBS is pretty much the same as doing the thing inside of ClickFunnels. So it's once you get to the place, um, now the editing is easy. Like their page editors, they're almost the
Yeah.
same.
Maybe, yeah, okay, I get that. And that's why I'm like, maybe I just don't need to. I think part of what was so helpful yesterday as well is the template that he just gave us that we can now just use, and it actually looks nice. I just find that the samples that I have in MBS I have to pretty much change the whole thing because they're just not attractive at all. Like I would skip right, if it were me, I would skip right past it and never look at it. I'd say that looks, it's just not attractive. Like I just don't see that. Whereas what he was showing us yesterday, it looked very easy to plug and play with that. So maybe it's more that I just have to design my own and then just keep replicating them.
Or maybe it's just like get a different, um, maybe it's find a different template. Like I'll be honest, I mean, I've played inside of high level, which in many ways is pretty much MBS.
Mhm.
Templates and whatnot, generally speaking, are provided by resellers, so that's a little bit different. And then the other thing that Mastermind has is Gigi. And
Yeah.
I have not, again, I've not done it, but every time I see somebody use it and like and I see somebody use the new version, not the original version of Gigi, but the new version of Gigi that actually also builds pages and whatnot, it all looks pretty good to me. I mean, I haven't seen it.
GG's awesome. I will give it that. That's actually one of the things that was one of my hangups because I saw that they had the AI stuff that we could use right within the page. That's, I think, pretty amazing too, that you can do it right within the page. However, yeah, I do have GG and I've got lot of good information from that. I mean, like I've said before, I've been an instructional designer for 20 plus years, and me coming up with a learning objective is not hard, but geez, you put it into there and it's done in like 30 seconds. So, and I didn't have to use my brain power. I can just now tweak from there. So no, there are some really good things. For some reason though, I just feel like it's just so hard for me to remember where things are. And again, I don't think it's my brain because I've done design stuff before, but anyway.
Yeah, I think that I won't talk about MBS. I'll talk about high level because
Yeah.
I feel easier saying it that way.
Mhm.
The biggest complaint that I've heard about high level is exactly what you said, is it feels like it can do a lot of the same things or all the same things that ClickFunnels can do, and ClickFunnels can do most of the things that high level can do. They both do some things that the other one doesn't do, but it's like you have to dig for them. Um, the thing that I have heard I've heard tons of complaints about ClickFunnels. Um, most of which have been addressed, mainly because they launched. I have a great deal of sympathy for the ClickFunnels team because, like I said yesterday, they went and they redesigned their platform from the ground up like 3 years ago, right? It's like ClickFunnels as a platform has been around for whatever 17 years, 12 years, 15 years, I don't know the number, a long time. But the version of ClickFunnels that we're all working with is brand new, right? And they launched it probably a little bit too soon, which I have a great deal of sympathy for because we launched Obvio probably a little bit too soon, right? There are still things inside of Obvio that I wish were better and easier to use and so on and so forth. But what I did is very much, or what we did is very much what the ClickFunnels team did, which is we're really excited about this new platform. We know this is the way we're going. Let's get it out there. Now, incidentally, I'll tell you just a really, really quick story because that is not unique in the technology world. There's this small little company called Apple, okay, that around 12 years ago, they were the top video editing platform in Hollywood, really in the world, with Final Cut, right? Final Cut Pro 7. And they threw it out the door and rebuilt it from the ground up with something called Final Cut Pro X and or 10 or whatever. And literally everybody hated it, right? Absolutely despised it. And it hated it so much that they actually like lost massive market share inside of that little space, right? And this is, I mean, this is not a small business that we're talking about, right? This is Apple. This is like one of the top 3 companies in the world, right? By volume. Like they have tons of employees. Like when we think of Apple, we think of nothing but the best stuff and cool phones. But they did this, right? Now, what's incidentally accurate is they did it in order to rebuild the foundation so that they could do a whole bunch of stuff that they are benefiting from today. And how, today Final Cut Pro is, I think, miles ahead of most of the other platforms in most ways, both in terms of ease of use and functionality. But there are still people who won't touch it because of how it functions, and they're used to a certain type of editor. So I say that only to say that these things that those of us in technology do, like ClickFunnels, which is throw out one platform and start from the ground up, is not uncommon. And that's what ClickFunnels did. And they're really excited about it. And it started rough. Like CF2 3 years ago, it was like they were super excited. It looked great on stage. And then you logged in and you were like, what the F am I looking at? What is actually going on right now? So, and a lot of that most of that has gone away. We waited a couple of years before we started actually using ClickFunnels 2 on a regular basis. Now, every time I log into ClickFunnels Classic, because I still have a couple funnels in Classic, I think to myself, why am I here? Why am I here? I have to move this funnel into CF2. And I think it's, so all of the complaints that I've heard over the years, it's a long way of saying all the complaints that I've heard all over the years, the last couple of years about CF2, I feel are largely gone. Okay. It's not to say there aren't any. The biggest complaint that I've heard about high level is it feels like they developed in silos these elements that make up the entire platform, and then they kind of crammed it all together, which makes one system look a little bit different than other systems within it, and makes it feel like navigating from one thing to another sometimes is a little challenging. And I'm sure that over time, High Level will fix it. They have a ton of VC money, like an absolute ton of money behind them. So that's only going to get better. And all of the resellers who have people inside of High Level, Mastermind included or MBS included, will benefit from that. Because it's not like they release it to High Level first and then, a year later they give it to all the resellers. They fix the platform and everybody gets it same day. So, Jason, thoughts?
Yeah, so
Thoughts?
I'd stepped away for a few minutes there, so I missed most of what you were talking about. But yeah, the thing about
I think I'll give you context. We were talking about whether or not Barbara should switch, or really anybody should switch.
You should only switch from ClickFunnels to High Level, from High Level to ClickFunnels if I don't know, if you've not built anything in the platform that you're thinking of switching from.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think that's a really good way to think about it. Go ahead.
Here's the one question I always ask is people say, should I switch from ClickFunnels to High Level to ClickFunnels? The one question I ask is, okay, because they both, for the people in this community, right? You got to mention High Level's got an incredible product suite. Why? Because they've got 10,000 agency owners, and some of them are doing car wash business, working for car wash business, some of them insurance brokers, some they're different suites, and they all ask for these. Oh, if only the invoicing could have this extra little widget on it, right? And so the reason why it's got a billion different things it's capable is because they're trained to cater for all 10,000 different agencies or all have different types of customers, right? ClickFunnels, 99% of the customer base for ClickFunnels are people who do webinars and virtual live events and sell a digital product, which is basically 99% of the Obvio elite community, right? High level caters for bricks and mortar businesses and billions of other things as well. That's why it's got so, but that's why it's such a gargantuan, overly engineered platform. But I say like, but if when it comes down to it, I ask, do you need to make phone calls and record phone calls? If no, use ClickFunnels. If yes, use High Level. Because right now, ClickFunnels doesn't give you the capability to make and receive phone calls and have your sales team and be able to listen to recordings and stuff like that. That's where I look at it. But they're both great platforms. I use both actually in conjunction.
Okay. All right. I will keep on plugging away. I will keep trying this. The thing is I was trying to do stuff in the free trial that we have. And I'm like, if I'm not switching to this, why am I putting my time into this? That's what I was asking myself, because I
mean, I think
should just be putting my
honestly,
time into Go High Level
like,
if that's what I'm
playing
doing.
with the free trial for, a few hours like we did yesterday, there's nothing wrong with that. And it can also, like, you now know, do you feel more comfortable in one or the other? Forget how Ben made it look. Okay. Like, you really have to, like, if you have to think about how it feels for you. And if right now it's like, okay, both are new platforms, don't focus on the one that you're most comfortable with, stick with that and go for it.
Okay.
Or
Anyone
stick
who
with that
got
or change to that. I mean, I don't care which, right? Either
Yeah.
stick with that or change to that and go with it.
Yeah.
now, anyone who got a ClickFunnels account yesterday through Blue is welcome to join our tech call for the next 2 weeks, including, and it's always after the Obvio call, so it starts in 45 minutes time. If you want to come, if you got a technical question, you want to come on to, so like, how do I do this in ClickFunnels? That's what that call is for. If you want to come and ask some questions, it's not a call for debating. Hey, should I go from, because we just got people there asking, I need to do this and do that. So, but if any of you want to come and gate crash that call, you're very welcome. If you've got a technical question, even though you're not our customer for the next 2 weeks.
That would be awesome. I will be there. I do have a specific question already for ClickFunnels, which I was trying to figure out today, and then I just stopped myself because I thought I shouldn't be putting my time into this if I'm actually not going to do this. But I'll go to that meeting and I'll ask you guys, and because I do a lot of events where there's multiple dates. So I should say a lot of webinars where there's multiple dates of the same webinar. And so I have a workflow already made in High Level where I know exactly how to do that. Like I can get that workflow. I can have 6 dates. I can have all the emails. I have the wait times. I have all that stuff that I made. And now that I know how to make it, like, oh, do I really want to try to make this in another site? But maybe it's just the same stuff. I don't know. But I will go to that meeting. I'll ask more questions.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're not strategic, should I use High Level for this? And yeah, that's fine. But yeah, the other thing is like, I mean, it sounds to me like if I were in your position, I wouldn't switch. However, I do actually use both platforms simultaneously, but we prefer ClickFunnels as the front end for all the pages, but we do use High Level just for the some of the contact management and for certain workflow things, because High Level have just invested that much more time in the workflows in the back end. But the page builder is incomparably better in CF 2.0. It's like night and day different.
The what is, the compatibility you said?
No, the actual page builder, the actual, basically the high level is built on Ruby on Rails, which is what ClickFunnels Classic was built on, except it's like an old version of ClickFunnels Classic by comparison to, to 2.0, which you've even got condition, not that you guys need it, but you even have conditional logic in the funnel flow in ClickFunnels 2.0. So in other words, if you're doing upsells, right, you could say, well, is this a customer like elite, let's say elite member, they can buy a ticket, a special ticket to TVE, which is already VIP, and you can set up the funnel so it detects that and doesn't show the regular ticket and doesn't show the VIP because lead putters already get auto. You can do all sorts of really cool stuff in CF 2.0s. You cannot do that in high level.
Interesting, because there are conditions in the workflows that I've put in, but okay.
In workflows, yes. In workflows, I'm talking about in the pages. So you
Oh,
can actually, somebody can opt in
okay.
on the first page. It'll say, is this person a customer? Yes. Don't show them this sales page. Show them this
Got it.
other sales page
Okay.
with different products on it.
That's
I
pretty
don't think
awesome.
I'll need that, but okay, that makes sense. But I don't think I think that's a little bit above where I'm at
Yeah.
right now. But I will, if you are willing to
But
let me go to that meeting, I
that's
would
the
love
sort of
to.
thing where it won't be above where you're at for long, right? The moment you start getting customers, I have to actually, I feel like I have to revisit our TVE flow, or our TVE funnel. But essentially, those are things that is very handy, right?
Yeah.
Like if I could send everybody to the same sales page, or technically I can if I set it up right, send everybody to the same sales page, and then just on purchase split the funnel rather than doing what I'm doing now. That's handy. It's really nice. So anyway,
Mhm.
all right, enough about ClickFunnels and high level slash
Yeah.
MBS.
Thank you.
Know that
Yeah.
we think they're both great platforms, and I don't think I think very few people should be switching. I'll just say it that way.
Okay. Thanks.
I've
Yeah.
Yeah, and to get us back to Obvio as well, it's all related. I do I think, Barbara, that there's a couple of cliches I've got for you. One is that don't stress about making the right decision, just make the decision right. You've already made the decision, so now just make it right. Like this is you make it. You make ClickFunnels right for you, right? Sorry, MBS. Sorry, I was going to be like confusing it all for you. What? That's the right decision. And the other thing is, I guess I would just challenge you a little bit about. There's a similar story that I hear about just making that leap. It's the same with Obvio dashboard. I get all inspired. I want to do it, and then something right there at the end just prevents me from taking that last step. And so, is there a reluctance in you to make that final step because it's a concern about doing the wrong thing? The thing is that the first is worst. First is worst. So you just get the first one done, and they're all better from then. And so just getting across that line, you've already got these things set up. Just roll with it and get the dashboard going. And once you've got it all, once you've got the functionality there, you can tweak it and make it look nice. So that's my challenge for you.
Thank you.
And I know from behind the scenes, both
Got this.
companies, like given where I am this week, I can tell you, without telling you anything in great detail, I can tell you that both companies are obsessive about the customer experience, and both companies are trying to have their clients have better experiences all the time. That nobody's sitting back on their laurels. And that's true in both buildings. Guarantee you it's true in both buildings.
Great. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right. Any other questions? Is Maddie here? Maddie, you were asking about setting up. Is she still here? Put a question in about assistance setting up the Obvio dashboard. So I don't know if her first one has been made, Blue, but Maddie was asking about that. She's here, but maybe she stepped away. So cool.
I'll keep my mouth shut unless she's here.
All right.
Awesome.
We'll
All right,
call it.
everybody. Well,
Thank you, everyone.
fun Q&A day. Have you been
It's a good one.
watching? Just checking.
I know. I was thinking that before, Barbara. Like you're talking about, I get inspired and while I'm watching, and then and there's that big that sign right there. Stop watching, start doing. It's awesome. Greatness demands everything.
Everything. Everything.
Everything. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
There's also one that says Rise and Grind.
Oh, we got some more.
Yeah, they're actually pretty cool. I like them here. Check it out.
What else have we got?
Grit. There's Rise and Grind.
Rise and Grind. Ooh.
That could be related to coffee, just for the record. There's remember why you started. I like that one a lot, actually.
That's good.
And then there's
nice.
The New York subway station. So anyway, there you go. Good times.
Inspiration.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to
Thanks, everyone.
Soon. Thank you. Thanks, Grant.
Let's do it all again next week.
Hell yeah.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.